Okay, Tuesday the 18th. I also didn't secure my hair very well, but I think I forgot when I got ready that I was gonna be filming. So we might have some malfunctions happening here. Okay, Tuesday the 18th, full body, 5, 6, or 7 rounds, part 2, overhead holds with a march. So for our rounds, we have overhead hold. Oh, I did that on purpose. I was gonna say, wait a minute, I'm repeating myself. Overhead hold with a march, dead bugs, alternating front raises, and plank. So the reason that you have the overhead holds in your round and then you have it for reps is because you kind of have to do a lot of these to feel it. So I didn't want to just, excuse me, I did give a high number in the rounds, but it really could be even higher. So that's why we're doing it again in the second part. And it's also a really good full body exercise. So that's why we're doing it twice. I'm choking, of course. So overhead hold, dead bug, front raises, plank, and then our holds again. Overhead hold with march. Dead bugs, my favorite. Alternating front raises. And just plank, whatever you want, high plank or regular elbow plank. So high plank position or elbow plank, and you're just gonna count roughly. You don't need to put a timer on. And then part 2, the overhead marches again. Okay, so for the overhead marches, you're either gonna hold 2 weights like this. If you have a plate, you're gonna hold the plate, or you can hold 1 weight the long way, okay? So hold that above your head, and then you're going to just nice and controlled lift 1 knee up, down, lift up, down, up, down, up, down. It pretty much should look like this. It shouldn't be much faster, and you want to bring your knee, just like high knees, as high as you can. So what you're doing here is you're working your arms because you're holding the weight above your head, but you're also engaging your core because your hands are above your head with weight. And then as you lift your legs, you're working your legs a little bit, but you're also working more of your core because now you're doing a crunch every time you lift up those legs. So this is a true full body exercise, which again is why we're doing it so many times. And again, depending on how much weight you're holding or how strong you are, you might need to do a high volume of these. So that's why we're doing 18 reps, and then we're doing it again for part 2. So for part 2, it's exactly what I just showed you, and you're doing it for reps. So this time, you're not gonna take a rest after X amount, you're just going to do as many as you can until you hit your number. So like for me, I would do 120, I might do 40, then I might get another 30, then I might get another 25, and then whatever. So you wanna kind of try to fatigue yourself. So when you're doing this one, you wanna think about your core, okay? So your arms are probably gonna get tired, they're probably gonna be shaking because you're holding the weight. You're obviously feeling the movement of your legs, but this is really working a lot of your middle, so your back and the front. So you wanna think about that. So when I do things like this, I think about almost making my body like a little bit of a C shape. So instead of being here, I go like this. So by doing that, that means I'm tucking my pelvis or my hips, I'm kind of bringing them forward. And when you do that, and then you put your hands over your head, you can feel your core engage versus if you're like this. If your butt is kind of pushed back and you've got that arch, your stomach is not engaged, it's out here, okay? When you C shape, now you can feel that you're actively using those muscles. So I kind of C shape, and then I do nice and controlled lifting. You will feel it in your stomach if you're doing it the right way, but again, you might need to do a high volume, okay? Now, second one is dead bugs. This is another one that's kind of a full body exercise. So you're gonna be like this. I can't remember if we did these already. We might have. I like to put these in a few times every month, so I can't remember what we already did or not. Hands up, 90 degrees with your legs. Slow lower opposite arm, opposite leg. Do not touch the floor. Return. Slow lower opposite arm, opposite leg. Don't touch the floor. Return, okay? So you're gonna be going just alternating. You can lift your head up off the ground, which gives you more tension on your upper abs. So if you want to make it a little bit more difficult, you're going to do that. And you want to make sure that your back is staying to the ground. So you don't want to roll forward with your butt and then create a little gap. You want to make sure that that back, your lower back, is stuck to the ground while you're doing this, okay? Alternating front raises, pretty simple. Hold a weight in each hand, your palms are facing you, and you're just gonna raise one arm up, nice and level, down, then opposite. So your elbows should have a bend in them, your arms aren't gonna be locked out, and you're gonna lift right about shoulder height, down. Shoulder height, down, nice and controlled. You shouldn't be having to lean in or flailing up your arms at all. And then again, we have a plank. It could be high plank, it could be elbow plank, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna show you because I know that you know how to do it. So what I would do is I would just pick, like I would count in my head. I would just go 1, 2, 3, 4, up to whatever number. You don't need to set a timer, it's not that big of a deal. But I just wanted to add that in because planks are also another really, really good full body exercise. And then again, for part 2, you're doing it for reps. So that means you're gonna pick between 60 and 120, and you're just gonna do as many as you can. If you can do even more than that, please go for it. Like I said, sometimes these type of exercises, you really need to hit that high volume number before you start to feel that burn and fatigue. And then once you're there, you're gonna really, really feel it. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get there, depending on how strong you are, depending on, you know, a couple different factors. So go ahead and just set out for a number. If it is killing you, that's great. If you're like, wow, I got to 120 and I could do like 100 more, keep going for more until you really can feel the burning in your core. All right, so that's the 18th.